What up, world? I'm Steve, founder and CEO of CryptoCrewUniversity.com, home of the #1 crypto classes. This is where we keep crypto simple. Today, another exciting video. There is a major move preparing in Bitcoin right now. If you guys are new, join the movement, hit that subscribe button right now, and everybody hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate you. It's great to see you. First, I'm going to introduce you to Jim. Jim, a lot of people around Jim don't believe in cryptocurrency. Jim has been stressed out, frustrated, and sitting by his computer not knowing if he should buy or sell. Jim has been watching his portfolio go down to very small numbers. Jim decided enough is enough, put his foot down, and knew he needed to learn. Jim, after learning, came out with a big smile on his face because he looked at the charts crystal clear, had so much confidence to know exactly what the charts were saying for the first time in his life. He made his first trade with a big smile on his face, knowing he was doing the right decision. And guess what? The profits started rolling in. Jim, with the big smile on his face, went to his friends and family, and they were so impressed. Guys, I want you to become like Jim. Here is how to sign up to the #1 crypto classes in the industry. If you've been in crypto around 1 year, you're going to sign up to this combo. It'll be the first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right there. If you've been in crypto just a few months, you're going to sign up to this combo class. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $150 right now with this combo. Make that decision like Jim, the biggest decision of his life, the decision to learn. Guys, I look forward to welcoming you in so you can have that confidence and have all of your friends and family proud of you as well. This video is going to be jam-packed. In order to correctly set the stage, we need to talk about the past handful of weeks. You know, about 5 or 6 weeks ago, we talked about the death cross on the 3-day. We said when it happens, it's going to be like fireworks. It's going to get ugly. It's going to be a big spike down. We made a video back here when we were at maybe 3,600. We said, guys, look, the charts are saying we're going to go on a rally. It's going to be a little bit bigger. It's not going to be 5 to 7%, but stay level-headed, stay emotionless because we're still in a bear market. And then we put out a tweet when we were at about 4,300 back on November 28th. We said, guys, we're getting that bounce we talked about, but remember, don't get too emotional. The bear market still has legs and we will continue even lower. It's really important to stay level-headed because there's so much noise in crypto. So here we are, we're even lower. The big question on everybody's mind is, Steve, what is this next big move? Is it up, down, backwards, sideways? What is it? Please tell us. So this is going to be a little bit of a bonus because we're going to talk about the next two big moves. The first one first, the second one second. So pretty excited to get into this video. First, let's talk about the price action. Right now, we're at $3,398. We're on the daily chart here, and we're about to break down what we see happening in this area of the chart. Really simply put, we are at a key point of resistance, which was our support. Remember, if you're looking at a chart and you're wondering what's going to happen in the future, you need to look left. When you do, all the answers are always inside the chart. So you can see extreme support here, now holding as, you guessed it, resistance. We're going to talk about is that important, but first we need to talk about the RSI. All right, the daily RSI is at a critical level, guys. We have been rejected not once, not twice, but 3 times from this critical level. Where's the critical level, you ask? It's at 33.4. Why is it critical, you ask? Well, look left, and it has been the most critical level for the better part of a year. All right, and majority of time we've held it as beautiful support, and guess what? Now it's resistance. So this is definitely a telltale sign because we have been rejected 3 times over the past week, over the past week, we have been rejected 3 times by this level. So this price action has had a difficult time with breaking through this 3,600 and change, right? 3,640-ish. Okay, we're going to break it down here on the next chart, but before we do that, look at this. We do have a stochastics cross to the upside, albeit a small one, and we need to see how this plays out. But when we do have a cross like this, pay attention. We just spent just about a week above the 80. Remember, we can stay above the 80 for a week, 2 weeks, maximum 20-ish days. But again, we're still overextended to the upside with our stochastics. We can have a move up, but it won't be a powerful move. And we'll talk about what kind of move we need to see for the bulls. If you're a Bitcoin bull and you're like, well, Steve, please tell me a scenario that we're going to the moon. Let me explain that in a minute. Although I do have a good scenario, which we're going to talk about a little bit later in this video. Also, a little bit later in the video, we're going to talk about casual Steve versus Bowtie Steve. We're going to have a follow-up on that. I do want to talk about shorts as well. It's on a lot of your guys' mind. And the last thing, there's a new death cross forming. You need to be aware of it. But first, this is a 6-hour chart. 6-hour chart, you can see clearly what's happening with this big level of support, breakdown, resistance. Now, you may ask, Steve, if we get above this 3,600 and change, is that a good sign for a run? No. What we need to see for a run is a change in trends. And if we zoom out here, obviously we are in a pretty extreme downtrend. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But in order to break that cycle, in order to break that trend, there's one thing we need to do and one thing only. We need to hold support at 4,300. We need to hold that as support. If we do, we are changing the trend and we can see a nice move to the upside. But if you ask, Steve, based on this chart formation that we see on the daily, is it likely, not possible, anything's possible, but likely to get above 4,300? It's not likely. We don't have a ton of room with stochastics. We're being met with extreme resistance here. We've got rejected a few times with price action as well. For us to see a sudden rally like that is unlikely. The path of least resistance is usually what always happens in charts. So you have a lot of resistance to move past this. You don't have a lot of resistance to continue down. In fact, it's quite probable. Where we will continue down, we're going to cover it in a little bit. Those of you that watch my videos, it's no surprise where we're going to move down to. We've been talking about it for a little while, and that's with this chart here. Okay, this is the BLX on TradingView. Okay, this is 8 years of history and the most critical trend line in all of crypto, not just Bitcoin. The most critical level that we're watching is this red line here, this moving average. It's the most important one ever, not in Bitcoin, but all in crypto. And that's the 200-week moving average. We talked about it now for a while. We touched this level twice with the 2 most important candles we've ever had. The candle that said, hey, this is our capitulation, we're not going lower, and then the candle that said, hey, the bear market is over, it's time to move on to our bull rally. Those 2 candles are the only ones that has ever touched this moving average. Nobody else has ever touched it. All right? So what happens is we are really close. And by the way, I see this chart popping up on a lot of YouTubers now. It's great. You guys are now learning about it, but if you want to hear things, relatively soon first, you want this information, you better make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell on. So what we talked about is we need to hit this moving average. We've got to hit it in order to really talk about changing the trends. And we're not on it yet, but we are close as you can get. Take a look at this. So simply put, in the short term, we're expecting a continued move down. We're going to talk about where, but more so on this. We're not on it yet. We're barely touching it with our wick. We want to see the body on here, all right, the body of the candle. So looking like, just based on this structure here, it's quite likely that we could be there within 1 to 2 weeks. Remember, this is a weekly chart, so each of these candles represents 1 week of action. So looking at this, I would say 1 to 2 more weeks, we should have a body right on this. And by the way, this level is at about 3,157. So remember, when we previously touched this, we had a wick through, and something spectacular happened when we touched it the first time. So we obviously had a clear wick through. We expect that to happen as well. We'll talk about where the wick will be in an upcoming chart in this video. But first, what happened when we touched this? It may not look like much, because let's face it, this is a weekly chart, but make no mistake about it, this was a major move. This was a move of more than 85%, okay? On some exchanges, almost 100% move from this candle, this capitulation candle that said, guys, if it's a capitulation candle, we're not going to go lower than this, right? We saw a major bounce from that level. Now, we have been comparing the 2014 to 2018 chart for many months. And by the way, there's no more comments in the chat about, Steve, why are you comparing 2014 to 2018? You can't do it because of Mt. Gox and because of the ETF and because of Bach and because of the market manipulation. You can't compare. Those comments have stopped. I guess people now understand that is the comparison. It's been the comparison for 10 months. It's happened to the T, and we expect it to continue. In order to do that, we need to see this candle come down here, and potentially we're in the midst of that right now with this weekly candle. So what we're seeing here tells us that, okay, number one, we could have a continued move down. It's quite likely because we've been rejected from these levels, from the RSI as well. So move number one, a move down. Where? We're going to talk about it next. And then we expect a move up, okay? Based on this chart here, once we touch down on this pivotal moving average, we expect to see a big move. There's some indicators setting up. Those of you who are my students, you know my secret indicator that I believe is to be one of the most underrated indicators. That, as well as a few others, are screaming that we are getting ready for a bigger move to the upside. All right? It's not the bull run move to the upside, but it is a big move to the upside, and it's shaping up in the charts. So that's what we're looking for in the short term. Now, what we want to keep an eye on is the volume. Make no mistake about it, we need to see volume increase when we see that true capitulation. We're going to keep keeping our eyes on different exchanges. This exchange has 6 years of data. But I trade on Binance, but Binance only has about 1 year of data, and we can't see that big picture with what the volume is telling us. But we're going to keep it open, and we're going to look to see what is happening on different exchanges when we see that play out the way we just discussed. Now, we're going to get into some other charts that explain where are these prices that we're talking about? Where can we move up to? Where could we move down to in these two big moves that are preparing? But first, we need to talk about some of these reviews, guys. Confidence is everything in crypto. And when you have it, things become so clear and it's incredible. Hear it from Matt. Matt says, my confidence after the classes is through the roof. We have another one here that says, and best of all, I've become completely emotionless with regards to trading. Remember, emotion, the #1 money killer. My classes will not only teach you to have supreme confidence, but emotionless, so that you can make decisions with a clear mind and make the right decision and the powerful decision. Eden says, quote, "I gained back my confidence, and I highly encourage any of you who are still considering but afraid to spend the money. This is by far the best investment you will ever make in crypto." So guys, take the advice, get that confidence, get emotionless, and sign up here if you've been in crypto around 1 year. It'll be the first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $100 with that link right now. If you've been in crypto just a few months, you're going to sign up to this link. It'll be the second link in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $150 on this combo right now. Guys, by the way, you're only going to need 15 minutes a day trading to become a successful trader using my strategies that have ridiculous proof of results. The results are confidence, emotionless, make winning trades with a smile on your face. Now, let's get into some of these charts here, guys. What we have outlined is what we've been talking about now for a little while. We're looking at two levels on the downside. First level is right within reach, and that is this 2,878. Expect what would happen if this scenario is to play out. Here's what it would look like. Body of the candle somewhere around this moving average with a wick through down to potentially this level. Why exactly this level? It's incredibly significant. We talked about our two rules to find big levels: big level of support, big level of resistance, exactly before a major move to the upside. Guess what? Here's our major move. Here are 3 months of resistance and 2 months of support. We have 5 months at this price level of 2,878, back in the glory days. So guys, we expect us to have our eyes peeled to this level going forward in the next week or two. Now, if we break that level, if we get to that level and we see that, hey, we're not seeing the volume come through, we know that we're going to continue lower. So when we get there, we're going to do some follow-up videos to see what the structure of the chart is telling us. It could definitely be the bottom. All right, make no mistake about it. This could be our bottom. The bottom could be right around the corner. However, we're not going to know for sure until we see the structure of what is going on. So we'll keep our eyes peeled to that. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on to be updated on the latest with that. If we break this level, it could get a little ugly because we don't have a lot of major support or resistance in between this and about 1,000. All right. And the $1,000 level, that's the most critical level in all of crypto, hands down. And nobody can argue that because it was our previous top. So we spent 2 months there, actually 3 as resistance. And then we spent 2 more months as resistance. So 5 total months as resistance and 2 months as support. Make no mistake, that's the most critical level. If we see this level, expect us to hold possibly around 1,300 with a wick down to around 1,000. So that's what we see playing out with those two scenarios with the downside. Remember, first move we expect to be a little more down, find our support where we should have it, and then we expect a pretty big move to the upside as if it were to play out just as planned according to this chart. So again, if we were to see this type of move, don't pay attention to the percentage move, although it should be similar. But pay attention to the structure. When we had our top here, guess what? You look left and it's clear as day. That was our previous support through this whole consolidation period, right before our death cross. Remember that consolidation period, right before our death cross? That's what happened in 2014. Consolidation period, death cross on the 3-day, fall down, capitulation. What's happened today? We had consolidation, death cross, fall down, capitulation. Capitulation, not yet. It's a hypothetical in the next few weeks. However, if structurally we were to play out relatively similarly, we're talking about a move up to, 5,500, potentially even as high as 6,000 if this were to play out the same way. This could be big. And I wanted to make it super clear. I want everybody to stay level-headed, keep your emotions in check. Remember, we're not getting too emotional when we see the prices rise. We're not getting too emotional when we see the prices decline. Emotion is a money killer, and we want to stay level-headed. So I want you guys to understand that these moves we're talking about are the next 2 months, how we see things shaping out. This is not going to happen tomorrow or the next day or the day after. We're talking about the moves for the next 2 months so that you can see it. You see the charts, you understand it, you know what to look for. All right. Now I want to show you another death cross that's forming, and it's a topic of conversation, not the death cross, but you'll see in a moment. But again, keep this chart in mind as well for what could happen. We could move to 1,000. We can't be shocked by that. All right. We need to stay level-headed with these scenarios that we played out. Move number one, a continued move down. We want to find support on our moving average, and then we want to see a big move to the upside, right? But I want to make this clear. If we do have this big move to the upside, it is not the bull rally. Make no mistake about it. I can't say this enough. That's not the bull rally. That's a consolidation period. Expect us to be in that, as we discussed, for up to 6 months, right? So now, new death cross. Let's talk about it. Oh, before we do, let's talk about shorts. Let's talk about shorts. It's on a lot of your guys' minds, and I've been getting a ton of emails with, Steve, I want to short. How do I short? Steve, can I short? Can you teach me how to short? Please, I want to short. And here's what I'll say about shorting. It's a great technique. It's a great skill to have. But if you're talking about being short now, you're late to the party. You should have been learning how to short when we were at 17,000. Guys, remember back when we were at 17,000 and you heard from Aunt Sally that she's buying Bitcoin, and you're like, what? Aunt Sally's buying Bitcoin? I must be late to the party. Yeah, you were late to the party at 17,000. Right now, it's the reverse. If you're thinking about shorting now, you're so far late to the party, you should not be thinking about that, because you're going to be 3 steps behind all the other humans. You don't want to be 3 steps behind all the other humans. That's a terrible place to be. You're going to be caught like Aunt Sally in not a pretty situation. All right? So shorts, it's a great skill, but not a skill you should be learning now. If you want to stay a couple steps ahead, you need to be learning what's going to happen during this bear market and how you can maximize your money to the upside. Because guess what? If you take a skill of going long versus skill of going short, which is going to be more powerful in the next 2 to 3 years, hands down the skill to go long, how to identify buys and sells. Make no mistake about it, guys. You're late to the party. I just want to make that clear because there's so much emotion with shorting, and it goes with everything, guys. When you start hearing the same thing over and over and over again, it's time to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing, and that will always be the correct decision. So my 2 cents on shorting. Now let's get into a new death cross. A lot of you guys say, Steve, I'm hearing all of this chatter about the stock market. The stock market potentially may crash and burn. How is that going to affect crypto? Well, here's our chart. Here's the Dow Jones. The legendary Dow Jones is about to go into a death cross. You guessed it. We have our 50-day. We have our 200-day. We have the daily chart here. And guys, we are a few days away from having an official death cross in the stock market. Now, what does this mean? We'll have to do a follow-up video. Let me know in the comments if this is a topic you want me to cover. My short take on it, if I could shorten it down to a sentence, is this is a good thing for crypto. So if you want to hear a video about this topic, let me know in the comments. By the way, here's a chart that we pointed out, and it's very critical. This is total market cap. The money in all of crypto is getting down to a critical level of about 100 billion. We've talked about this for a few different videos. Take a look here. Again, if you look left, the information is so clear, guys. 100 billion critical level. Back here, it started in May of 2017. Back in the glory days, right? We got resistance, we held support, we had resistance, we held support, resistance, and most recently, support. So what we're seeing now is we're holding that level for the time being. And this coincides with, if we do see a push down to 2,800, we're going to be right at probably about this, $86 billion mark. It's a hypothetical guess, but it's structurally what makes sense. So we want to hold these levels. And I'll tell you what, we talked about it with the price action. If we don't hold this level of about 100 billion, 90, 80 billion around this area where it's been, I don't know how many months, 6 months to a year of data. If we don't hold this, then the only other level that really makes sense is around this 26 to 30 billion. There's not a lot of room in between there. And this could quite possibly coincide with that $1,000 level, right? You talk about market cap around 26 billion. That's blood in the streets. That's capitulation. That's turmoil. That's people, there's not a whole lot of blood in the streets right now. And when you see capitulation, a true capitulation, that's generally what you see. So we'll keep our eye on that. Those are the two levels we're looking at market cap wise. The price action, the next two moves. It's been a jam-packed video. The last thing I'll leave you with is, if you guys like Ethereum, if you're invested in Ethereum, believe in Ethereum, I made a bonus class for my students that's incredibly powerful. There's a 4-year trend, ladies and gentlemen, a 4-year trend that's been playing out with Ethereum. And this month, December, is the most critical month for Ethereum. You need to know why. If you're invested in Ethereum, you need to know. So if you sign up to the classes, you can get this bonus class. All right, sign up to the classes and you can get this bonus class on Ethereum. So you can be like Jim. Guys, this is so important. You do not deserve to be stressed out, emotion, and have people in your life, they don't believe what you're doing. They don't believe in crypto. They don't know what you're doing, and you're losing money. You need to put your foot down and say, enough is enough. I'm making a change. You're going to take the classes and have so much confidence. You're going to look at the charts and know clear as day what is happening, when to buy, when to sell. Make the trades with a smile on your face. You're going to go back to your friends and family, and they're going to be so impressed with what you've accomplished. Guys, you deserve this. Today is the day you make that change. You're going to sign up to this combo class if you've been in crypto around 1 year. It'll be the first link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video as well. Save $100 right now. And by the way, we accept credit cards. You guys have been going crazy around the world with your credit card payments. You're going to sign up to this combo if you've been in crypto just a few months. It'll be the second link right down in the description. I'll link it for you inside the video right here. Save $150 right now. I look forward to welcoming you guys in. Now, we need to do some updates. One of them is Casual Steve versus Bowtie Steve. But first, this is what I want you guys to do. A lot of you guys are watching on your phone right now. Turn your phone vertical and look at the subscribe button. Make sure it's not red. You do not want red in crypto. If it is red, boom, hit that subscribe button right now. Make sure the bell has the wings next to it. That's how you know you're going to get the fresh videos hot off the press. So bell ticked, no red subscribe button, we're good. The next thing you want to do is follow on Twitter. Our Twitter has been blowing up. We've talked about it on a few videos. It is at CryptoCrewU. At CryptoCrewU. Go subscribe right now on the Twitter. Now, I do want to say You guys know that I'm living in Ecuador. Most recently lived around Europe for a little while. Myself, my fiance, we're having a baby. We're living here in Ecuador now. So a lot of exciting things happening, but we've had probably about a month and a half of clouds. But like I told you guys a few weeks ago, the local people said, "Oh, Steve, not to worry. In a few weeks from now, you, my friend, will have sun." And I believe them. The local people are always so nice all around the world. And guess what, guys? Today, sunshine here in Ecuador. It was about 79 degrees. I know a lot of you guys are getting snow. In my hometown, we've got snow on the ground right now. So shout out to everybody around the world that's dealing with cold weather. I send you some warmth from here in Ecuador, from here on the equator. I know our mates in Australia are loving the sunny summertime there as well. So shout out to everybody in the US, in Canada, in the UK, in Germany, in the Netherlands, in Australia, in Asia, in India, it's South Africa. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but special shout out to you guys. Now, last but not least, Casual Steve versus Bowtie Steve. And here it is, straight to the point, guys. I like to do things so differently than everybody else. That's why I wore the bow tie. I think it's cool. I think it's different. It's unique. And I love bright colors. But we tried it out. In the last video, we went casual, and I dig it. So we may mix it up, but I want you guys to also implement this into your life. The reason why I've achieved so much success in life is one simple thing. I did it so differently than the herd. And I preach it to you guys here on these videos where I've said, don't follow the herd. Don't follow the sheep. Blaze your own path. Do something different. Do something unique. Be you. Nobody is you. And you may say, well, Steve, I'm 40 years old. I'm married now and I have a kid. I can't be so different. Yes, you can. You're not dead. Be you. Nobody else is you in the world. So if that's you, wear that bright bow tie. Wear this bright blue suit. Wear that pink jacket that we have as well. Be you. And that's going to lead you to so much success. If you follow the herd, guess what? You're going to get the same results as everybody else. But not everybody's a millionaire. That's not the herd. That's a small percentage of the population. If that's your goal, chase it. Be you, and you're going to achieve it. So I'll leave you with that thought. Want to give you some words of wisdom, some motivation just to stand up and say, Steve, I'm so happy you gave me that motivation to be me. I'm going to be me. I'm going to do things differently. And I love that. Let me know. Send me a tweet. Let me know what's happening with that. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful rest of your day. We're going to keep you updated with everything that you need to know right here. And I hope we have more good news coming. So peace and love to the crypto crew. Let me know in the comments what you think. And a special thank you to everybody that comes in, gives the thumbs up right away, writes some beautiful comments. You guys are the ones helping this community grow. It's not me, it's you. I appreciate you. We'll see you right back here on the next video. Peace and love to the crypto crew.